In this video, we're going to be covering another SQL question. This is Leetcode question number 1661. Average time of process per machine. In terms of schema, we have an activity table. The activity table has four fields. One is the machine ID, one is the process ID, one is the activity type, and one is the timestamp. This activity, and let me actually read it from here. This table shows the user activities for a factory website. Combination of these three things, machine ID, process ID, and what activity type he is going to be doing, is the primary key for this table. Machine ID is the ID of the machine. Process ID is the ID of a process running on the machine with ID machine underscore ID. And the activity type is the ENUM of type either start or end. And the timestamp is then when he's starting or ending the process on that particular machine. We need to write a SQL query to find the average time each machine takes to complete a process. So here is the table. This is machine number 0, process is 0, it is starting the process, and machine 0, process is 0, and we are ending the process. Then machine 0, process is 1, we are starting the process at this timestamp, and then the same machine, but the process is 1, the process is ending, and this is the timestamp. Here are the averages what they are looking for. What happened is, like, for the 0th machine, doesn't matter what the process was, we actually took this difference between when it was processing the process 1 and this difference when it was processing the process 0 and averaged it in order to get this one. So this is the average of that machine. Similarly, we can do it for machine 1 and machine 2. Okay, now there is an inner table in here, and from the inner table we're just gonna get the machine ID, right, as machine ID, and then the timestamp, time difference. We're gonna sum it and count it, and divide it by the total number of the counts of them, and round them to 3 as the processing time. This rounding is a requirement here. The resulting table should have the machine ID along with the average time as processing time, which should be rounded to 3 decimal places. Okay, now over here, if you ever wondered like why we sometimes group by multiple things, this is a very good example where you can visualize that what we need to do here is, like, look here, that we need to calculate basically we need to group them. We definitely need to group the machine 0 so that we don't actually, when calculating these time differences between these starting and ending time, we don't actually intermingle between this, like, 0th machine and the first machine and the second machine. So we're going to be grouping them by the machine ID, right? But at the same time, we also want to group them by the process ID. And just remember, in this one we do need a machine ID, but we don't use process ID anywhere in this query. Here we are not using the process ID, but we still need to group it because we wanna, when calculating the start and end, they should be grouped separately. So that's how it's gonna get grouped. When you say group the machine by machine ID and the process ID, these two rows are gonna be grouped separately. These two rows are gonna be grouped separately. These two are gonna get grouped separately, and actually all of them are gonna be grouped in the set of two, like the two rows. So once you group like that, all you have to say is, like, give me the machine ID, and we are subtracting the activity type. If it is end, we are saying that use that timestamp, otherwise use 0, right? And minus, we are saying that if the activity type is start, use that timestamp, otherwise take it 0. We are rounding both of them to 3 decimal places as, and we are taking the whole thing as time difference. So basically this is gonna be given and this is gonna be given, right, for both of them. So we will end up having this thing, like the calculated result of this and the calculated result of this. All you need to do after that is, once you send it to the upper or the this select, which is one level above, is that you take the machine ID and then you sum the time difference and divide it by the count of how many time differences we have, right? Again, we are grouping them by the machine ID. So with one machine ID, in this case, we're gonna have two entries. So you actually say that the count of the time differences and like the rounded value of we are summing them and we are counting them, right? So when you sum them, this is gonna get added to this one, and when you count them, so there are two entries in there for machine one, and we're gonna be returning that as processing time. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.